So I'm kind of chuckling about it. I'm still getting hit with golf balls, whatever. I'm having fun out there.
Did he hit you at all?
Oh yeah, he hit me like right in the chest, like right on
Nice.
the fucking Devils logo.
That's pretty impressive, actually.
That was pretty impressive. Yes, it's the only thing I can really give him.
Although
So
it's indicative of the fact that he spent way too much time playing golf and not enough time giving people raises.
that too.
Face. This is a
uh,
totally unbiased podcast, by the way.
yeah. um. Yeah. So fast forward to after the event. I'm lugging the fucking goalie gear back so I can get changed up. And the first person I run into is the program director. I just want to say, I go up to him. I said, "Hey, man, I just wanted to let you know I'm just busting your balls over there. Don't think anything of it. Just trying to, just trying to trash talk and just get more people to try and hit me."
Hmm.
And I go, "And you hit me, so I guess it worked." And he goes, "Yeah." Gives me a weak handshake and just fucks off. I'm like, "All right, yeah, I'm probably gonna get fucking screamed at for that. Whatever." So then they go up and they say, "Hey, there's a guy here from the Boston Globe. He wants to talk to you."
Huh.
And I'm like, "Why me?" And they're like, "Well, you were the target." I'm like, "Well, yeah, but doesn't he want to talk to the host of the show? That would be better promotion for the show."
Yeah, seriously.
They said, "Well, no, he wants to talk to you because you were the target." I said, "All right, I guess I'll talk to him." Before before the guy comes over to talk to me, Kevin, the show host, comes up to me. He's like, "I'll give you $10 for every mention of Carlson and McKenzie you get in the paper." And I'm like, every answer is gonna be Carlson and McKenzie. Carlson and McKenzie. What did you eat for breakfast today? Carlson and McKenzie. Like, that's kind of weird. Why'd you do that? Carlson and McKenzie. So the guy's like, so what's the charity you're doing? So I talked to the guy and I'm saying, I've been working with this morning show for quite some time, and I'm having the time of my life working with these guys, just really like blowing smoke up the show's ass and meaning it because I'm like, I'm still having fun. I love the people that I work with. I love my fucking job, and you know how fucking rare that is to find.
Hmm.
So I'm meaning every fucking word that I'm telling this guy.
That's really the thing is that you enjoyed the work. You just didn't enjoy the shit that came along with the
Yeah,
work.
I didn't enjoy the fucking politics that came with it.
Yeah.
Um, so now fast forward to probably about a year later. Uh, Braden is going on vacation again, and they come up to me the day beforehand. I think it's like Friday. They come up to me and they said, "Hey, so here's the deal about next week." And I'm thinking like, all right, you're gonna be in charge because you've done this shit before. You can do this job. You've proved it to him countless times again. You've had experience. You can fucking do this.
Hmm.
Doesn't happen. They said, okay, here's what we're doing. We're bringing in the guy Billy for the first 3 days of the week, and then the last 2 days of the week is going to be this guy. I think his name is Mark from downstairs at the Sports Hub. He's going to be filling. He's going to fill in on Thursday and Friday. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm cool with fucking Billy and whatnot. Like, I had no fucking problem with him.
Hmm.
But I'm like, here I am again getting fucking skipped over for this fucking job. Like, what is the reasoning for it, man? Like, what? At least tell me like why I'm getting fucked here. And they go, well, we're just afraid, if you show up late one day, the show's gonna be fucked. I said, I got a buddy who lives in Medford. I can ask him if I can crash at his place. Take me 20 minutes to fucking get down here. I said, I really wish you guys had kind of talked to me about this beforehand, and not just like leave it up to like the last second, like, oh, by the way, babysitter's gonna be here later.
Were
Um,
you even late before, or was it just kind of like we don't want you to be late?
yeah, I had been late a couple of times beforehand.
Oh.
You know, like there were times I was late. I'm not gonna lie about that. Um,
So it's not
so
like it was completely unwarranted, but again, maybe if you had brought up the Medford thing, like you could maybe crash there to do this one little thing,
that
like.
I did mention that to him when they were talking to me about this, but the decision had already been made.
Uh,
So now I'm like, all right, shit's not fucking kosher in Denmark here anymore. I got to do something. I got to get the fuck out of here. I can't fucking take this anymore. driving home, I'm fucking screaming my head off, just cursing, fucking just hating fucking everything. Like, if there were a fucking baby crawling in the road, I probably would have ran it over and just be like, "Fuck you! This is what radio does to people."
That's terrible, but it made me giggle. So
it almost turned me into Bender in a moment because I was like, you know what, man, I really hope I see somebody fucking like trying to jump off a fucking bridge. I'm gonna pull over and just be like, "Do a flip!"
press me as you die.
Yeah, leave a lasting moment on the pavement. But I was fucking furious, and it was around that time I had started talking to this radio station in New Hampshire, and that'll be a whole another fucking part which we can probably do next week.
Part 2.
Yeah, part 2, the revenge. Um, but I'm talking with them about becoming a producer, and I eventually get the call back saying, "Hey, we're going in a different direction with this position. So we want to say thank you. We're going to keep your name on file, and if anything happens, we're going to give you a call." And I'm like, "Okay, that's the fucking big bullshit fucking answer. Like, we're going in a different direction, going in a different direction." I'm like, what other fucking direction could you possibly fucking go in with this?
Seriously, you either need a producer or you don't.
Exactly. Like, you need somebody to do this work or you don't. That's it. If you're like, you know what, the on-air talents can take care of themselves, okay, fine, different direction, I'll give you that. But don't be like, well, we're going in a different direction, and then you're just going to be like, well, this guy's going to do all the work that you were going to do. That's not a different direction. That's the same fucking direction.
Right.
So now I'm fucking screaming and cursing even fucking more on the ride home. And I'm just like, this is such fucking bullshit. Like, why the fuck am I putting up with this? I really should just fucking leave. I'm so fucking fed up with just being treated like this big piece of shit, and just keep fucking taking it. I'm like, I'm sitting on my bed and I'm just like, you know what, man? I'm like an abused woman here. No, I'm like an abused woman in the sense of like, you know what? I keep getting the fucking shit kicked out of me by this place, and by the high and by the fucking higher up, and yet I keep coming back for fucking more. I'm just like, when does it fucking stop?
Not only that, but not but like blowing smoke up people's ass about it too. Like, oh no, everything's fine and great and I love it. And things
Yeah,
are
like
sweet.
people would ask me like, oh, how do you like working in radio? I love it. I love the people that I work with. I love doing my fucking job. No mention of fucking politics at all. So I'm just
Andy,
like,
why are you crying and why is there semen dripping down your mouth? Because I love my job.
the things you got to do to stick around. um. So fucking Monday rolls around, and they would get on the air and they would do like the introductions, like, oh, let's say hi to that's Billy, our producer for the week, and I'm just like, oh, fuck, this is fucking bullshit. And so Pete comes in to the room that I'm in, and like I'd never really like screamed at Pete or like really did anything to, I don't know if offend is the right word, but like he and I never had like a battle of words. Like he and I never had it fucking out. So he comes in, he's like, hey, I sent you these emails about this audio. And I'm like, this is a fucking producer's job, isn't it? And he goes, well, yeah. I said, then have your producer do it. And he goes, do you want to go home? And I'm like, yeah, God, you know what, man? I would love to, but you know what, man? I'm fucking dedicated to this. So you know what? I might as well just fucking stay here. So I get the audio in and whatnot. I'm fucking stewing and whatnot. And he and I, at the end of the show, had some words. And he's like, you know what? I want you to come in tomorrow. Just, if you don't want to be here, you don't have to be here. I said, you know what, man? I understand that, but at least here's my thinking here. Like, I'm pissed. This is why I'm pissed. I said, I apologize that, I fucking took it out on you. I know it's not your call. I said, I'll come in tomorrow, man. I'll be, the fucking team player that you guys love, or at least hopefully love. And, hopefully we can put this behind us and just, see it as an isolated incident. He goes, all right, no problem. So I come in the next day, I'm joking with them, just kind of shooting the shit with them, get all the audio they need and whatnot. It still kind of stings that like, oh, there's Billy, our producer. And I'm like,
Mhm.
fucking, yeah. I'm like, that still fucking stings, but you know what? You said you were going to be a team player. What are you going to do?
Was Billy newer to the roster than you were?
No, Billy was, he was, God, he'd been there for about 5 years as well. And he actually joined ZLX, I want to say like maybe 2 months before I got there.
Oh, okay. So it was pretty close.
Pretty close, yeah. He had seniority over me by a couple months at least. And he's totally
Still, why
cool.
they brought up the dude from the hub rather than you makes no sense.
That makes no sense. That'd be like, if the director for marketing for McDonald's is like, hey, I'm going on vacation. I've got these guys that are, I got this guy that's training under me. He does a really solid job. And then the CEO of McDonald's is like, well, that's great and everything, but while you're gone, I'm gonna have the guy in charge of marketing for Burger King come over here, and he's gonna do your job for you.
Seriously.
Which
Little
it pissed me off then. It still kind of pisses me off now in the sense of like just remembering it happening and whatnot, and just
It's kind of slap in the face.
it's a massive slap in the face with a very little dick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Very little.
exactly.
Like,
It's a very little dick slap to the face.
I'm gonna use that from now on. Next time I get insulted, I'll be like, you know what? That's a slap in the face from a very little dick.
Exactly.
Person will stare at me all cockeyed. Be like,
You had to go with cockeyed,
yeah.
for lack of a better phrase. Um. So, like I said, like I was saying, like I had no problem with with Billy coming aboard. Fucking cool cat. I still fucking chat with him every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
He still does his podcast with Mike on the Mike and Billy show. Cheap plug for them. And like I had no problem with it, but I thought like I was like, okay, well they're gonna bring somebody up here to help me out. And Billy wasn't entirely sure like what to do as producer, but he kind of got the hang of things really quick, but he didn't know some of the bits. So come Wednesday, there was a bit called Pete on the Street, and where Pete would go around to people on the street, interview them about a subject, and then um, what he would do, like we would throw in like goofy like sound effects or like clips from a movie or a drop here or of something, whatever that would be fitting for it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Did you have to do it live or?
no, it was a pre-tape thing.
Okay.
So Billy comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, can you give me a hand with this? I have no idea really what I'm doing with it." I said, "Absolutely, man. No problem, no problem." So I go in there and I'm like, "Okay, well, what's the subject on? It's on this." I'm like, "Okay, well, let's get a clip of this. Let's get a clip of that, and cut it off right here. Make it no more than like 3.5 minutes, and we get it down to like 3:20. The damn thing was fucking solid. Had the guys laughing. Great.
Mm-hmm.
End of the show comes. Everybody's in the jock lounge / green room, whatever you want to call it. And Mike walks in. And he looks over at Billy. He said, "Hey, man, just wanted to say, great job with that Pete on the Street today." Now, in my mind, like, flares are going off. Like, you gotta be fucking kidding. That motherfucking son of a bitch. Before I can even open my mouth and, make my family a little bit more endangered here, Billy, cool as ever, fucking goes, "Well, thank you, thanks for the compliment, but you should really thank, Slip over there. He did, the most of the work. I really had no idea what I was doing, and he kind of took I asked him if he could take the reins on it, and he delivered for you." And he just looks at me and just doesn't say a fucking word.
No way.
Just not a fucking word. Not even like hey, great job, man. Or, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't know, you'd worked on that. Great job with it.
Jesus.
Not a fucking word.
Damn.
So comes about 2 weeks later. This is I'll never fucking forget this date as long as I live. It's August 22nd, 2014. Just get my paycheck. Everything's fucking kosher. I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna go home, gonna enjoy the weekend, maybe catch up on a little bit of sleep, maybe watch a couple of movies, maybe hang with the niece a little bit. I don't know. And Mike comes into the office, or not into the office, but he comes into my my room, and he said, and